Well, we've got some big announcements from Pokemon Unite. Hi, everybody. Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw. We don't have a balance patch yet for the game, but I'm hoping that comes very, very soon. However, we have some interesting announcements about Season 19. Season 18 is ending here very, very soon. And now we have the following notification regarding ranked matches in Season 19, which begins April 17th. EX licenses are disallowed. EX licenses cannot be used in ranked matches with one or more Master Rank players during Season 19. So it looks like they are basically deciding that EX licenses are kind of a fun thing in the game, but once you hit Master Rank, essentially the competitive ranked queue for the game, they're no longer going to be a thing, which means the ranked queue inside of Pokemon Unite is going to mirror competitive play for the most part once you get up into Master Rank, which I think is actually pretty solid. Now, we're going to talk about Draft here, which is really interesting. So, Draft pick applicability? Draft pick applicability. Say that 50 times fast. 50 is probably unnecessary. In Season 18, we tested draft pick in ranked matches where every player had a master rank rating of at least 1400. We appreciate all the feedback that was shared with us through our recent survey and are expanding the availability of draft to pick more players. Currently, it's 1400 and above. New season, 1200 and above. So as long as you are in master rank and you have not dropped below 1200, which is very hard to do. You can do it early, you lose a few games, but after you've just grinded for a little while, it's hard to go back under 1200. You have to have an extremely low win rate to go back under 1200. Unite licenses owned, excluding EX, had no requirement. Players with fewer than 14 cannot participate, and now it is 14 or more. So we will still have opportunities where there are not ranked games if a player does not have the correct amount of licenses, right? That's interesting because it does a few things. Players, there were some players who I was talking to that were saying they were getting locked out of ranked basically because they didn't have 14 licenses, and now you'll still be able to play ranked, you just won't trigger a draft game. However, almost everyone else, I would say 90% of the players, 80% of the players will meet these requirements once they are inside of Master Rank, meaning draft games are going to happen all the time. I think these are great changes for the ranked mode of the game. It's going to make ranked feel more like ranked. There are some things that I have to be honest, I'm going to miss about it. I'm going to miss kind of just loading in and getting to pick whatever Pokemon you want, but that's not what the ranked experience should be for necessarily. Of course, you should be able to play lots of different Pokemon inside of ranked, but at the same time, you should be playing things that work well for your team, drafting against your opponents, and this is what that is what is giving us. Is there a reality in which I butcher that sentence anymore? This is what we are now getting, is more ranked games inside the ranked mode of Unite. Again, more closely looking like the competitive format. Number of players that need to meet the requirement, 10 obviously. All 10 players have to meet this. So right at the start of the season, you'll not get a ton of ranked games because you won't be in Master Rank yet. You'll get 0. Then once you hit Master Rank, pretty quickly, I would say you're going to be getting mostly draft games. And then as the season goes on, you'll be getting almost exclusively draft games inside of Unite. I would love to hear from everyone in the comments what they think about this, because I could understand some people thinking, well, I do like the idea of playing more draft games, but also I kind of liked not every game being draft. I know this is a weird take, but given the matchmaking inside the game and sort of the state of what you are paired with in Unite, sometimes I was kind of happy that it wasn't a draft game because I was already on a team with what felt like they were very mismatched. I will say the teams felt very mismatched. So this is actually great, but now you're going to be playing some of those mismatched games, and they're going to be draft, and you're going to see some wild drafts. But overall, this is a great change in my opinion. Master rank rating requirement from 1400 to 1200, change in the license numbers. This is pretty great. I think all of this is pretty great. It excludes EX licenses when they're talking about the 14 licenses, so it could, for some players, take a minute before they're able to hit those draft games, and you still will have games that are not draft. But I would say more often than not, you are going to be running into draft games inside of Pokemon Unite, which I think is great. No EX Pokemon and draft inside of ranked. We're basically setting the ranked mode of Unite once you hit Master Rank, which again is essentially the main rank of the game. Everyone gets to Master Rank, and that's when they kind of divvy them up. Could have a better system, sure, but that's what Pokemon Unite does. Now we're basically saying once you are there, the real ranked grind starts, and you are paired against players in given situations that would more closely resemble a competitive format. We're still going to have the same matchmaking. We're still going to have players that are not, entirely up to snuff, but we have this, and I think this is pretty solid. While I have you here, I did want to talk a little bit about the new Battle Pass. I haven't looked at it here on stream or anything like that, so let's take a look at it right now, the Umbreon Battle Pass for everybody. 1 second, let me find it. They didn't show it on the main account yet. Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-boop, I know El Chico Eevee has posted it somewhere. Where is it, my sweet prince? Here we go. So I figured it'd be a good time to talk about this, right? Let's try to make this bigger. This might get kind of loud. I'm lowering it. Umbreon is the next Battle Pass. A lot of people not in love with the hat. I will say, though, the Unite move on this is awesome. The hat, maybe not, but the Unite move is great. Let's take a look. The recall animation, nice. But the Unite move, this is it right here. That moon on the ground, whoo, that crescent moon, that is absolutely sick. And Muse Hollower also looks pretty good. We finally got a Defender Battle Pass, and it ended up being Umbreon. I think a lot of people have been wanting a Defender for a while, and I noticed that people were not super stoked it was Umbreon. However, I mean, if you're going to pick a Defender, it's probably one of the top choices you could have inside of Pokemon Unite, right? So there you go. The beautiful new Battle Pass with the backgrounds. Season 19 is definitely going to be interesting for Pokemon Unite. I'm excited to see what that means, really, for the game. Draft and ranked, no EX Pokemon, and a new Battle Pass. And I think there was something else that was teased. And now I'm forgetting. Oh, Phalanx. Phalanx is coming on April 25th. So we've got the ranked season that starts next week, a week from now. And then we have Phalanx hitting basically 1 week from that. And the cool thing is Phalanx is not going to have to run into Mewtwo. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with EX Pokemon in another season or two, given the fact that I guarantee for Anniversary we have EX Pokemon coming to the game, right? And given that we have EX Pokemon coming to the game for Anniversary, we're probably going to see them in ranked again. It would be weird to not have them. The other option is they could nerf those things, but let's be realistic. I don't know if they are ever going to touch those Pokemon. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that. Big stuff for Unite. Again, I want to hear from you in the comments what you think about all these changes. I love you, and I'll see you all next time. Will people play Standard now? We will see.